influential and powerful criminal. Give me one logical reason why it is bad for me and I will stop robbing. D. It's easy money. Some may say it's easy money and not hard-earned money. I agree completely that it is easy money, and that is one of the main reasons why I rob. If a person has the option of earning money the easy as well as the hard way, any logical person would choose the easy way. E. It is against humanity. Some may say it is against humanity and that a person should care for other human beings. I counter-argue by asking as to who wrote this law called humanity and why should I follow it? This law may be good for the emotional and sentimental people, but I am a logical person and I see no benefit in caring for other human beings. F. It is a selfish act. Some may say that robbing is being selfish. It is true that robbing is a selfish act, but then why should I not be selfish? It helps me enjoy life. 1. No logical reason for robbing being an evil act. Hence all arguments that attempt to prove that robbing is an evil act are futile. These arguments may satisfy a common man but not a powerful and influential criminal like me. None of the arguments can be defended on the strength of reason and logic. It is no surprise that there are so many criminals in this world. Similarly, raping, cheating, etc. can be justified as good for a person like me, and there is no logical argument that can convince me that these things are bad. 2. A Muslim can convince a powerful and influential criminal. Now let us switch sides. Suppose you are the most powerful and influential criminal in the world, who has the police and the ministers on his payroll. You have an army of thugs to protect you. I am a Muslim who will convince you that robbing, raping, cheating, etc. are evil acts. Even if I put forth the same arguments to prove that robbing is evil, the criminal will respond the same way as he did earlier. I agree that the criminal is being logical and all his arguments are true only when he is the most powerful and influential criminal. 3. Every human being wants justice. Each and every human being desires justice. Even if he does not want justice for others, he wants justice for himself. Some people are intoxicated by power and influence and inflict pain and suffering on others. The same people, however, would surely object if some injustice was done to them. The reason such people become insensitive to the suffering of others is that they worship power and influence. Power and influence, they feel, not only allows them to inflict injustice on others but also prevents others from doing likewise to them. 4. God is most powerful and just. As a Muslim, I would convince the criminal about the existence of Almighty God, refer to answer proving the existence of God. This God is more powerful than you and at the same time is also just. The glorious Quran says, Allah is never unjust in the least degree, Al-Quran 4:45. Why does God not punish me? The criminal, being a logical and scientific person, agrees that God exists. After being presented with scientific facts from the Quran, he may argue as to why God, if he is powerful and just, does not punish him. 6. The people who do injustice should be punished. Every person who has suffered injustice, irrespective of financial or social status, almost certainly wants the perpetrator of injustice to be punished. Every normal person would like the robber or the rapist to be taught a lesson. Though a large number of criminals are punished, many even go scot-free. They lead a pleasant, luxurious life, and even enjoy a peaceful existence. If injustice is done to a powerful and influential person, by someone more powerful and more influential than he, even such a person would want that person perpetrators of injustice to be punished. 7. This life is a test for the hereafter. This life is a test for the hereafter. The glorious Quran says, He who created death and life that he may try which of you is best indeed, and he is the exalted in might, oft forgiving. Al-Quran 67:2. 8. Final justice on Day of Judgment. The glorious Quran says, Every soul shall have a taste of death, and only on the Day of Judgment shall you be paid your full recompense. Only he who is saved far from the fire and admitted to the garden will have attained the object of life, for the life of this world is but goods and shadows of deception. Al-Quran 3:185. Final justice will be meted out on the Day of Judgment. After a person dies, he will be resurrected on the Day of Judgment along with the rest of mankind. It is possible that a person receives part of his punishment in this world. The final reward and punishment will only be in the hereafter. God Almighty may not punish a robber or rapist in this world, but he will surely be held accountable on the Day of Judgment and will be punished in the hereafter, that is life after death. 9. What punishment can the human law give Hitler? Hitler incinerated 6 million Jews during his reign of terror. Even if the police had arrested him, what punishment can the human law give Hitler for justice to prevail? The most they can do is to send Hitler to the gas chamber. But that will only be punishment for the killing of one Jew. What about the remaining 5,999,999 Jews? 10. Allah can burn Hitler more than 6 million times in hellfire. Allah say in the glorious Quran, Those who reject our signs, we shall soon cast into the fire. As often as their skins are roasted through, we shall change them for fresh skins, that they may taste the penalty, for Allah is exalted in power, wise. Al-Quran 4:56. If Allah wishes he can incinerate Hitler 6 million times in the hereafter in the hellfire. 11. No concept of human values are good and bad without concept of hereafter. It is clear that without convincing a person about the hereafter, that is life after death, the concept of human values and the good or evil nature of acts is impossible to prove to any person who is doing injustice, especially when he is influential and powerful. Why are Muslims divided into sects, different schools of thought? Question. When all the Muslims follow one and the same Quran, and why are there so many sects and different schools of thoughts among Muslims? Answer. 1. Muslims should be united. It is a fact that Muslims today are divided amongst themselves. The tragedy is that such divisions are not endorsed by Islam at all. Islam believes in fostering unity amongst its followers. The glorious Quran says, and hold fast, all together, by the rope which Allah stretches out for you, and be not divided among yourselves. Al-Quran 3:103, which is the rope of Allah that is being referred to in this verse. It is the glorious Quran. The glorious Quran is the rope of Allah which all Muslims should hold fast together. There is double emphasis in this verse. Besides saying hold fast all together, it also says, be not divided. Quran further says, obey Allah, and obey the Messenger. Al-Quran 4:59, all the Muslims should follow the Quran and authentic hadith and be not divided among themselves. 2. It is prohibited to make sects and divisions in Islam. The glorious Quran says, as for those who divide their religion and break up into sects, thou hast no part in them in the least. Their affair is with Allah. He will in the end tell them the truth of all that they did. Al-Quran 6:159. In this verse Allah, SWT, says that one should disassociate oneself from those who divide their religion and break it up into sects. But when one asks a Muslim, who are you? The common answer is either I am a Sunni, or I am a Shia. Some call themselves Hanafi, or Shafi or Maliki or Hanbali. Some say I am a Deobandi, while some others say I am a Baravi. 3. Our Prophet was a Muslim. One may ask such Muslims, who was our beloved Prophet, but was he a Hanafi or a Shafi, or a Hanbali or Maliki? No. He was a Muslim, like all the other prophets and messengers of Allah before him. It is mentioned in chapter 3 verse 52 of Al-Quran that Jesus, was a Muslim. Further, in chapter 3 verse 67, Al-Quran says that Ibrahim, was not a Jew or Christian but was a Muslim. 4. Quran says call yourselves Muslim. A. If anyone poses a Muslim the question who are you, he should say I am a Muslim, not a Hanafi or a Shafi. Surah Fussilat chapter 41 verse 33 says who is better in speech than one who calls man to Allah, works righteousness, and says, I am of those who bow in Islam, Muslim. Al-Quran 41 hours 33 minutes. The Quran says say I am of those who bow in Islam. In other words, say, I am a Muslim. B. The Prophet, dictated letters to non-Muslim kings and rulers inviting them to accept Islam. In these letters he mentioned the verse of the Quran from Surah Ali-Imran chapter 3 verse 64, say ye, bear witness that we, at least are Muslims, bowing to Allah's will. Al-Quran 3:64, 5. Respect all the great scholars of Islam. We must respect all the great scholars of Islam, including the four Imams, Imam Abu Hanifa, Imam Shafi, Imam Hanbal and Imam Malik. May Allah be pleased with them all. They were great scholars and may Allah reward them for their research and hard work. One can have no objection if someone agrees with the views and research of Imam Abu Hanifa or Imam Shafi, etc. But when posed a question, who are you? The reply should only be I am a Muslim. Some may argue by quoting the hadith of our beloved Prophet from Sunan Abu Dawud hadith number 4579. In this hadith the Prophet, is reported to have said, my community will be split up into 73 sects. This hadith reports that the Prophet predicted the emergence of 73 sects. He did not say that Muslims should be active in dividing themselves into sects. The glorious Quran commands us not to create sects. Those who follow the teachings of the Quran and Sahih hadith, and do not create sects are the people who are on the true path. According to Tirmidhi hadith number 171, the Prophet, is reported to have said, my ummah will be fragmented into 73 sects, and all of them will be in hellfire except one sect. The companions asked Allah's messenger which group that would be. Whereupon he replied, it is the one to which I and my companions belong. The glorious Quran mentions in several verses, obey Allah and obey his messenger. A true Muslim should only follow the glorious Quran and the Sahih hadith. He can agree with the views of any scholar as long as they conform to the teachings of the Quran and Sahih hadith. If such views go against the word of Allah, or the sunnah of his Prophet, then they carry no weight, regardless of how learned the scholar might be. If only all Muslims read the Quran with understanding and adhere to Sahih hadith, inshallah most of these differences would be solved and we could be one united Muslim ummah. All religions teach men to be righteous, then why follow only Islam? Question. All religions basically teach followers to do good deeds. Why should a person only follow Islam? Can he not follow any other religions?